It's MasterChef.
Do I think I can win? Of course I can win.
2 expert judges to test them at the highest level.
We're looking for a great amateur cook who can make it as a professional.
Someone who can turn out exceptional food.
I think I'm very good in the kitchen.
This is one tough competition.
This is a one-off opportunity. I'm not going to turn it down.
For whoever wins, it'll change their life. Cooking doesn't get tougher than this.
In this episode, these 6 contestants will all compete for the last remaining quarter-final place. The winner will then be up against this week's 3 other exceptional heat winners.
Well done.
But first, they face 3 tough tests. They have to invent a dish from scratch.
It's just not very pretty.
They have to survive the pressure of working in a professional kitchen.
How much time for the lamb chop?
1 minute, chef.
I need them now.
And impress the judges with their own recipes.
That's... Oh, yeah.
All in just 2 days.
"40 minutes, good luck, let's get cooking."
It's the quick elimination test. Deciding which 3 stay are judges John Terode,
This is a competition. Understand what you're doing. Do it very well indeed.
and Greg Wallace.
Do we have the winner of MasterChef in this kitchen today?
The contestants have 40 minutes to invent a dish from any of today's ingredients, which are prosciutto ham, watercress, asparagus, red wine, mozzarella, figs, blueberries, red onion, mascarpone cheese, and short crust pastry. Tony, a taxi driver from Sussex, has a traditional take on cooking.
I would really love to open up a good old-fashioned English food pub.
Do you want to change your life at this stage?
Too right, I do. I've always said to my kids, if an opportunity arises, grab it with both hands because you never might have that chance again.
"27-year-old Hannah loves cooking for her husband and 2 stepsons.
These children you look after, how old are they?
9 and 11, Connor and Ryan.
So they are pretty good at telling you when things aren't very good.
Oh yeah, they're brutally honest, brutally honest.
And how do you take that criticism?
On the chin. It's a bit of a joke that I won't let anybody else in the kitchen. I like to have control over what I'm doing. I don't like to have other people wandering in and getting involved and helping. I like to think that I'm quite laid back and not very competitive, but I think anyone that knew me would describe me as very competitive.
23-year-old barman Andy feels more at home in the kitchen than anywhere else.
When I'm in the kitchen, it's a really sort of escape for me. I don't know, I zone out almost, and I just come into this complete state of bliss.
Are you here to win or you're just here for a bit of fun?
Oh no, I'm here to win, definitely. But I'm here to learn along the way as well. I'm making an aioli at the moment.
I'm just an old cynic, you know, kitchens and stuff. Does that look a bit split, do you think?
No, I'm slowly adding the oil, and it should be okay.
You've had 15 minutes.
Ex-army man Mark has set his sights on creating his very own global culinary empire.
There's a Rick Stein in the southwest. Could there be a Mark Jenkin?
So what's the goal?
Cookbooks, TV, restaurant, all of the above. I think I can do it.
You can't be here because you want to be second place.
Absolutely not.
You're here to win.
Absolutely.
Do you think you're
I
good
can
enough?
see my restaurant down on the south coast already.
Hairdresser Stacey wants to turn her cookery skills into a money spinner.
Ultimately, I'd like to have my own business doing posh dinner parties.
Stacey, what do you do for a living?
I'm a hairdresser.
So why are you here then?
I want to be a good chef.
Really?
Yeah,
OK. Stacey, who are you cooking for right now?
myself. And you.
What? No, not right now. At the moment in your life,
Yeah.
who do you cook for?
Music teacher Jo is determined to work with food, despite her nerves.
Jo, what's the matter?
It's just, I'm just trying to visualise what I'm doing, trying to get it right.
Don't worry about the cameras. We'll look after you.
Right, okay.
Okay? It's all going to be okay, right?
Yeah.
And what's your dream? Why are you here, Jo?
I want to cook. I don't enjoy teaching, it's a job. And I come home and I cook, and that's why I escape. Although I'm quite a timid, shy person in myself, when it comes to being in the kitchen, I work under pressure, that's why I enjoy it.
1 minute. 1 minute. Time's up.
First up is family cook Hannah. She's made a fig and mozzarella tart with a red wine reduction.
It really is a pretty unattractive plate of food, isn't it, Hannah? The figs are really nice. It's a cooked mozzarella. It's become this very, very hard sort of cheese.
I think you've had a nightmare, Hannah. I believe you're a much better cook than this. I think you couldn't have got off to a worse start if you'd have tried.
No.
Will Cabby Tony's asparagus in ham with mozzarella and honey glazed figs bring him closer to his British pub dream?
See, I really like the combination of those sweet figs, the salty ham, and the cheese. And then suddenly we've got this weird thing of asparagus coming in, which sort of doesn't make it all work very well.
Too many flavours for that poor asparagus, I think, there, Tony. Doesn't mean you can't cook, it just means you've had a very nervy start.
Barman Andy has made ham-wrapped asparagus with mozzarella, but has he salvaged his aioli from disaster?
You promised us aioli, which is garlic mayonnaise. John questioned you right from the start. This isn't mayonnaise now, is it? It's garlic olive oil with an egg in it. Lots of lovely iron-flavoured asparagus in there. And then it's ham and it's mozzarella.
How does mayonnaise and mozzarella work together?
I suppose it doesn't.
What do we say, Andy? What do you say to me?
So I think I've combined the ingredients well, mentally, but I just need another chance to do it physically.
Music teacher Joe's hopes of a major career change hinge on asparagus wrapped in ham with garlic mayo on French bread.
It's all tasty, it's all well seasoned. The mayonnaise got lots and lots of garlic in it, lots of olive oil. It's strong enough to be able to hold itself up against that asparagus.
There is texture to your asparagus, not too firm. I think you've cooked that absolutely perfectly.
You know, for a person who was as nervous as you, first round of MasterChef, I think you've done pretty well.
Okay.
Hairdresser Stacey's hoping her poached fig and honey tart will set her apart from the others.
The pastry is cooked. You got the buttery pastry inside. It's not very sweet, and it probably could do with a lot more honey. I don't know if it's got enough flavour for me.
I do worry about how sloppy it is in here. John's absolutely right. It's not bursting with flavour. Your pastry's good, but it's not bursting with flavour.
Ex-army man Mark is keen to show his potential with poached figs and mascarpone cream.
The syrup is almost completely wiping out the figs. Almost completely. Saying that, Matt, you've thought about something completely different.
Well, it is bizarre, but not unpleasantly bizarre. It does go sweet and sour and slightly acidic, and it goes sweet at the same time.
3 of you are going home. Get yourself a cup of tea, and we'll see you soon. It's MasterChef. Who has got the spark? Who has got it? Who will be able to change their life from the amateur cook, in their own home, and make it as a professional? Beautiful ingredients today. There was some really interesting food, But wow, some real disasters.
No, Hannah, the whole conception was wrong. There was no way you could fill a pastry dish full of mozzarella and end up with anything else but a bouncy ball.
It had to be, by far, the worst plate of food we saw today.
John and Greg said that I'd had a nightmare and couldn't have got off to a worse start. I think that's probably fair comment.
Hannah goes, I don't think there's any room for Andy.
I said from the start his aioli wasn't going to work. He went, yes, it is. It's going to be absolutely fine. It was just terrible.
Yeah, I messed up the aioli really badly. It just came out like a garlicky mess.
Bye, Andy. You ain't no MasterChef. Shall we talk about Mark?
His dish tasted nice.
He does say he really wants to change his life. He says he's really interested in food, and he is the person in this room who did the most unusual thing, and it paid off. It worked.
I was certainly pleased with their comments. I think there's still work to do, though.
I think we've got to give Mark a go. The most nervous person of the lot probably cooked the most coherent plate of food.
Joe, her hands were shaking, her bottom lip was going, but the lady can cook.
She can cook.
I have got a lot more to prove, and I just hope that at least they could see I could cook.
And she made a proper aioli. Joe and Mark are in. Hannah and Andy are out. I really like Stacey. She went the dessert route, which showed an inventive mind.
Her tart had no flavour. It looked great. It delivered nothing. It had that great promise of a wonderful, rich, honey-filled fig tart. And it wasn't.
I really want it now. I've got the bug. I've been bitten.
You think Tony has more promise than Stacey?
Yeah, I do, because actually everything that Tony did was cooked properly.
His dish wasn't great today. Why don't these people realise if you cook mozzarella, it goes rubbery?
Yeah, blow me chances. Opportunity of a lifetime.
The fact is, though, Tony did have a really good idea. He wasn't just a one-trick pony.
We have made a decision, obviously.
Hannah? Andy? Sorry, guys, you're leaving us. Thank you. Joe, you're cooking tomorrow. Well done. 2 gone, 1 in. I need to lose 1 more. Mark, I hope you like the heat of the kitchen. So that leaves us with Stacey and Tony. Congratulations, Tony. Well done.
My whole of my insides are shaking. I just, at the same time the adrenaline's going, it's just a really good feeling. I think I can cook well enough, but I've got to control these nerves.
My boys put me up for this, and to be given an opportunity to show them what I can do. Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I think I can win it. I really do. I'm over the moon I'm going to be here tomorrow, and I can't wait to come back in the morning.
For the moment, they can relax. But tomorrow, the pressure is on as they face 2 more daunting tests. It's early morning on day 2, and the contestants arrive at Moti Mahal, a contemporary Indian restaurant in the heart of London's Covent Garden. Head chef Aniruddha Arora is expecting nothing less than the best.
We've got a very busy lunch today, so you guys will have a hard time. So let's chop, 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 and cook, cook, cook.
It's 12 o'clock and the restaurant is rapidly filling up. Mark is in charge of the tandoor oven.
You need to make sure the chicken is right. I've got customers paying outside. Okay, chef.
A daunting task when temperatures can reach as high as 450 degrees.
I want sizzling chicken, not sizzling fingers.
He'll have to cook his dish of chicken marinated in basil, mint and coriander with extra care.
We're keeping an eye on it all the time, making sure that the chicken doesn't burn and the sauce doesn't completely dry up.
But true to form, go-getter Mark is rising to the challenge.
Could I have the chicken, please? The lamb is already here.
Yes, chef!
Mark?
Yes, chef.
The chicken looks good. How much more time for the crab, Tony?
On its way, chef.
Cabby Tony is cooking stir-fried crab claws and curry prawns with green pea kedgeree. And the aspiring publican's in a buoyant mood.
After that, 2 more pick up.
Yes, chef. No problem. He hasn't shouted at me yet.
But while Tony and Mark are relishing the challenge, it's an altogether different story for music teacher Jo. She's cooking griddled lamb chops with Kashmiri-style masala mash and a lentil salsa. But once again, her nerves are threatening to sabotage her.
Is that right? Sorry. Okay, sorry, chef. Okay, sorry.
Jo, how much time for the lamb chop?
1 minute, chef.
I need them now.
Sorry, chef.
An hour into service, and in stark contrast to Jo, Mark's drawing on his former army experience to stay focused.
Once you've had your orders, you follow them through, and yeah, I think it's helped me tremendously. Yes, chef! 30 seconds, chef!
Across the kitchen, Tony's earlier enthusiasm is waning.
Okay, Tony, I need them fast now.
As orders flood in, he finds it hard to keep up and is relieved of one of his dishes.
And the crab.
Yep.
Yashwant, can you do the category, please?
But while Tony is struggling, Mark is promoted.
Once you finish the chicken, I need a hand on the breads also, huh?
And Jo is coming out of her shell just as service is coming to an end.
Thank you very much, Jo. That is fantastic.
And even Tony is finally coping.
You order 2 crab, Tony?
Yes, chef.
It's time for John and Greg to meet head chef Aniruddha Arora to see how the contestants got on.
Was Jo nervous today?
Jo, to start off with, was a bit shy. Her hands were very wobbly when he was trying to cut the lamb chops. First of her starters were pretty late, but afterwards she did catch up.
And Tony, how was Tony in service?
His dish as such was fine, but because it was a combination of 2 dishes, he was not able to combine both the dishes. At a particular time, I had to ask one of my guys to come in.
And how did Mark do?
Mark did very well. His chicken supremes were picked up on time. At times, he was even helped us with some of the breads in the tandoor.
If you had to employ one of them, which one would it be?
I'll pick Mark. He's the guy who has the right attitude, and he's the one I feel would survive in a professional kitchen very well.
Now they're straight back to MasterChef HQ to cook their best 2-course meal. Yesterday, music teacher Jo delighted, but she's persistently battled with her nerves. Are her chances of becoming a quarter-finalist hanging in the balance? Cabby Tony proved he had real potential, but his success wavered after a rocky pro kitchen. Can he pull it back to win? Ex-army man Mark's unusual dish grabbed the judges' attention, and he powered through service, impressing the chef. Will his success continue in the final round?
1 hour, your 2 courses. Let's cook.
They now have to cook a 2-course meal that they've designed themselves. Jo's hoping her classic dishes of herb-crusted lamb cutlets and a rhubarb crumble with custard will be enough to show she's worthy of a place in the quarter-final.
Jo?
Yes?
It actually does look like your nerves have gone.
Yes.
But that's because I think you probably haven't got room for them. You are busy.
I am busy.
Do you have a dream job?
Yes, to run a restaurant in the north. I think there's very poor restaurants in the north and they're all extortionately priced for what they are. You know, I shouldn't have to travel to Edinburgh or London to get a decent meal.
Rhubarb crumble with an egg custard. Perfect.
Sounds great. Is it going to be delicious? Guys, you've had 15 minutes.
Cabby Tony's menu consists of seafood tempura and a poached apple with wild berries and cream.
I'm a bit late in life to start going through the normal avenues of training and the rest of it. It's a chance for me to show the people that I can cook and hopefully find myself a new career in cooking.
But you're happy to have come this far, Tony, aren't you? That's as far as your ambition goes.
I'm here to win. Believe you me, I'm here to win.
I like Tony's. It's very, very simple. It's going to be clean, it's going to be crisp, it's going to be done very, very well.
Bramley apple stuffed full of early summer soft fruit. Who can complain about that?
You are halfway.
Mark's risking it all on an ambitiously complex chicken main course.
Let me get this right now. So we've got chicken breasts with butternut squash and celeriac, with a sauce containing shiitake, champagne and tarragon.
Correct. Is this a style erring on the edge of dangerous?
I think it is. I think I've got a pretty unorthodox style, and I'm there to experiment with stuff, and I don't necessarily need to follow the norm.
What Mark is doing is dangerous. Is it too dangerous? That's the question.
I just can't see it at all. Not I can't see it working, I cannot fathom it out.
Just 3 minutes left. OK, guys, down your tools. That's it, all finished.
Tony's cooked a starter of seafood tempura. And for dessert, poached apple with berries and cream.
The predominant flavour is a dipping sauce, which actually is really pleasant with the fish. I understand why you've done it, because it's a good way of seasoning things.
I don't think it's a dish you would write letters home about, but it's a competent dish, it's a good-looking dish, and it's a tasty dish.
It's just not very pretty. I would love a bit of sugar in it. And for me to say that, that's quite extraordinary. I don't usually eat very much sugar at all.
Now, I haven't tasted it yet. John went, that's sharp, it needs sugar. It's obvious why. To leave a cooking apple like a Bramley this whole, it's going to be really sharp. Three-fifths of that mouthful was close to luxuriously wonderful. And then I finished off with a really sharp apple, which made me go...
Joe's made herb-crusted lamb cutlets with potatoes and sugar snap peas, followed by rhubarb crumble with a vanilla egg custard.
The lamb and its herb crust is lacking flavour. You've got to pack some herbs in there, you've got to pack some flavour into that. Must try harder, I think, would look on your school report.
The potato gratin's delicious. It could probably do a little bit more cooking. It's beautiful lamb. It just needs to be seasoned a bit more, and it needs to get a bit more heat on that fat and really bring out its true character. It is almost very, very good.
Okay.
Look at that.
The difficulty with just doing straight rhubarb is that you end up with lots and lots of liquid, and that can make your crumble non-crumbly. You can see it, can't you, becoming a bit of a lump. Regardless of whether you had have done a great crumble or a terrible crumble, I've got to applaud you for making fantastic custard.
Cool. It's a shame it hasn't got the body of the crunch, but flavour-wise and inside there, yeah, that's... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think any Englishman saying no to a rhubarb crumble like that should have his citizenship revoked.
Mark's created phyllo-wrapped goat's cheese with plum sauce, and a main of chicken with celeriac, butternut squash, leek and courgette linguine, and a shiitake mushroom champagne and tarragon sauce.
That's a lot of goat's cheese, Mark.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's... Gee whiz. That sauce is mighty powerful. But thankfully that goat's cheese is strong enough to hold up against it. Doesn't wow me.
Good good flavours. Silly, pretty, nearly nowhere near salad on it. With some good, you know, even a rocket salad with some tomatoes. We're there.
Tarragon chicken, champagne sauce, fantastic idea. The biggest disappointment for me is that there's no seasoning in your sauce. It's a bit wet and flappy. I've got to admire your work ethic because you've worked your socks off. And you just made it.
There is too much going on that plate. I've got a hint of celeriac. Sweetness, cleanness, then in come the tarragon. Bosh, punching its way through everything else. Get out of my way. Great big whack of tarragon. Learn when to leave alone, and I am willing to bet you are going to be a great cook. Go away, because we've got a lot of talking to do. Thank you.
Well, it's a quarterfinalist place at stake.
Tony, as good as he is not anywhere near the same league as Joe or Mark. Nowhere near. The baked Bramley apple wasn't right.
And it was just huge. It was massive.
Tempura salad, although a decent idea, is nowhere near the work rate or invention of t'others.
I could have done better, but under the circumstances, under the pressure, I think it wasn't a disaster.
Tony goes home. That leaves us with Joe and Mark.
Well, I don't like Mark's food. I don't.
Ah.
I don't. You look at Mark's food, all right? What you've got is one of the maddest sauces you've ever seen. It had far too much tarragon in it. Luckily for him, it got rid of the taste of the shiitake, because quite what beefy shiitake would have done to the taste of the chicken and champagne, I have no idea.
I've definitely gone out on a limb compared to the other two contestants. Hopefully that pays off.
I admire his bravery for what he's done today. He is trying really, really hard. We do know that he can turn his hand to anything, and he did very, very well in the kitchen today.
But I think Joe is the all-round better cook. The egg custard, this is the first time I've seen proper egg custard on MasterChef. Proper egg custard. Loads of vanilla, properly sweet, proper consistency, perfect.
We also got to remember that Joe has made a few mistakes. That crumble wasn't quite right, and the lamb just didn't have flavour.
I want to win this competition more than anything. The stakes are being raised today.
You're worried about her aptitude for this, aren't you?
I am really worried about it. Of course I am, because I think there's somebody there who is slightly frightened by the whole thing. And unless you are going to commit 100%, it's no use staying in the race.
That was tough.
We have made a decision. Congratulations, Joe.
Oh, God, no! I'm just so excited at the same time, so nervous. It's just the best feeling in the world.
I'm extremely disappointed. It's not the end of my food dream. I'm even more determined now. I just have to investigate other avenues. But hey, I'll bounce back.
Obviously, I was up against another class of cooks today. But I did my best, and that's all you can do. How am I feeling now? Elated. Disappointed, but elated.
I got through. I'm through at the quarterfinal.
Joe's place is secure for now, but in the morning she'll be back for the next daunting stage.